Hi friends, my name is Curtis McDaniel. I'm married to my wife Margaret McDaniel, and we have 3 children, Anna who's 7, Kate who's 5, and Drew who's 2. I'm the REF campus minister at Purdue University, and as of June we will have been here for 7 years, which is hard to believe at times. And when I describe Purdue to other people, I often say that Purdue is the older son in the parable of the 2 sons. We work really hard, we keep all the rules, but it can be really hard for us to understand the Father's love and grace. We care a lot about what we achieve. In fact, Purdue's slogan is "What we make moves the world forward." And there are so many parallels to this slogan and to this achievement culture and to Philippians 3 verses 3 through 9, and even Paul's reflection on the many things that he had achieved in his past. And as you can imagine, the pandemic has thrown gasoline on this achievement fire, because my students and I desperately want to achieve and to be productive, but we live in a world where that has been almost impossible to measure. And yet, we believe God is at work. And so many of my students have had to go to Plan B or even Plan C for the summer as internships have been canceled and the future looks less certain. We've been faced with the loss of so many good things. But through this, however, God is showing us that even these good things pale in comparison to knowing Christ. So I wanted to share 2 stories of how I've seen God at work in these ways. The first is a student, I'll call her Alicia. That's not her real name, but she had started coming to RUF recently because a friend had invited her. And while she came a few times before the pandemic hit, she started coming pretty regularly once we moved everything online. And in the midst of the uncertainty, a few days before Easter, she texted me and asked me how she could celebrate Easter religiously for the first time. While her family had gone to church occasionally growing up, she had never really taken her faith seriously. And so she reached out to me and said, "Hey, what does it look like for me to celebrate the death and resurrection of Jesus?" And I was so excited because the only reason she wanted to do that was because God was at work in her heart and in her life. Even since that text, her plans have changed, life has been upended, but it has been so encouraging to see God using these circumstances to draw students like Alicia and others to himself. In fact, I asked a student leader how he had seen God at work in his life in the midst of the pandemic, and this is what he sent to me. He said, "God has been working in my life to teach me to trust in his sovereignty over my future. Over the past couple of weeks, I have felt a level of fear and loneliness and anxiety that I have either never felt or haven't felt for a long time. Plans and hopes and dreams for my future that I had are now canceled or threatened to not come to fruition. While it has been hard dealing with that, God has been reminding me that he doesn't owe me any of these things, and that he is still worthy of my trust and my adoration, even if I never get what I hope for, because he is the best possible thing that I could ever have. God has been using this crisis as a method of growth to strengthen my trust in him." Friends, we believe that Jesus is better, and that even the good things that we have find their goodness in him. And so we praise God that he is at work. We thank him for the work that he is doing in our midst and where you are as well. Blessings.